Hello, and welcome to Why I Love Warhammer, this series where I go into an unscripted ramble about why I love something in this hobby. And on this episode, it's the Aeldari, the last Xenos faction I am to cover in this series before doing a couple of reduxes and of some of the older ones, and then just letting these videos exist for the world to see why I love these things. The Aeldari are the space elves, the Eldar, and they are just so cool. I think there's something inherently cool about elves generally, especially when they're being based off fantasy elves, which really means Tolkien elves, because they are just generally just superior to humans. They live longer, they're faster, they're taller, they move swiftly, they're stronger. And so there's something very appealing about that from a kind of observing a fiction. And then also there's something very fascinating with the Eldar themselves in the universe of 40k. In terms of gameplay, they get very specialized units. So this is the unit that this unit is good at shooting things far away. This unit is melee. This unit is focused on this. And so it's about playing these very specialized units. In terms of lore, I enjoy the fact that the Aeldari gave birth to the Chaos God Slaanesh through their hubris and decadence, and the Aeldari are the ones who decided to try and shy away from that. I love the color schemes. So this is, I think this is Sam Hain, Craft World, but this kind of red and black and white aesthetic they've got going on makes them seem like they'd be pretty reasonable to batch paint. I think that so it's a really good color scheme. I think just that very simple kind of three colors makes for a very striking scheme, and they've got a really good range of units. I also like the fact that from a lore perspective, they have this thing where if they are slain and they can't capture the souls go to Slaanesh. So a lot of what they're doing is trying to preserve that. And they live on these craft world ships, and a craft world is a spaceship. So it's just this huge spaceship with the population of a planet that has like regulated itself. They grow their own food on a craft world, that kind of thing. I think that's just genuinely really incredible. And then the idea that you've got these different types. You've got the Drukhari who have Chimera. You've got the Aeldari kind of Corsairs who do their own thing. You've got the Yinari who are trying to unify everyone under Inead. You've got the Harlequins who are just doing their thing for the Laughing God to protect themselves from Slaanesh. And then you've got some Aeldari that kind of live very primitive lives, and they are, they're riding around on dinosaurs. That's brilliant. I wish they had models. And if they release those as their own faction, I'm doing another video just for them, because I think that's just a really brilliant thing. Elves riding dinosaurs. But that's not why we're here. We're here for the Craft World Eldar and some of the derivatives, because I think they're independently brilliant. And so that's from the lore perspective. And let's start with the classic Guardians, and I think these just really well done. Striking three colour scheme. They've got the weapons platform here, and it's just a really bog standard, good, simple, effective battle line unit. They're interesting poses, but not so not so unique that they'd feel like they're being duplicated if you were running kind of 30 or 60 of these guys. Just a cool looking, good looking model, good colour scheme, good backbone for the army. A couple of farces, seeing into the future, that type of thing. I think these guys are really cool. Again, I always prefer the helmeted ones. I love the Aeldari swords, the symbols, I love the flowing red cloaks. And these guys standing on rocks like this doesn't feel like a tactical rock, but does make them feel special. Another one here, I think this would be a really fun one to paint up. Lots of detail, but not in a way that detracts. Cool looking stuff, and standing on ruins like this, I think that just looks really cool. Shroud Runners, I think these are cool. I think they're just good Eldar vehicles swarming around. Classic flying bases, classic flying stands, and just all around good looking models. Are just there for, you know, that fast attack slot. They just run around, cause some havoc. Beautiful looking things. The Harlequin equivalent being the Skyweavers. They do have a lot in common in terms of basic shape. I imagine there'd be a lot of overlap in terms of kind of the build instructions. But yeah, these guys just really cool. This named character, I've watched 20+ minute videos about this particular character. It's really interesting guy. I think I can't pronounce his name, but he's a brilliant character. He's got a really important place in the lore. And just look at this sculpt. Look at the colouring on him. I love this staff he's got up here. This triangle thing up at the top. This kind of attachment for his helmet looks like half of a webway gate. Beautiful looking sculpt. Okay, these guys are possibly the main reason I love the Aeldari. I love these models. These kind of weird alien-looking heads. The souls, lore-wise, the souls of the Aeldari, once slain, can get put into these to prevent them going to Slaanesh. There was a Hammer and Bolter episode of a man of an Eldari warrior trying to find his mother. His mother's been put into one of these, and he's the mother trying to find. I can't remember. So two family members, one trying to find the other. The one being found has just had their soul put into one of these things, and it's really tragic because they're trying to make sense of their existence and environment. But I love the way these things look. I love the way they move. I love these weapons, these proper medieval weapons. I love this thing here. That blade on the side of the arm. It's kind of that combination of hand-to-hand combat with a weapon. Love the axes they wield. They're just brilliant models. Whenever I've made a fantasy Aeldari list, I have as many of these guys as I can possibly run. Because these guys, I just want to be front and center of every Aeldari army I'd ever play as. Okay, this guy's brilliant. I would love to run 3 of these as a list. Part of it is because I feel like it'd be a pretty alright one to paint up. Spray red. No, take the head off. Spray red, black detailing, soulstone, and and then put the transfers on. Head, spray it white, paint it black, put the head back on. Do that 3 times. You've got like 1,400 odd points of Eldar. But even then, they're huge models. I think they're meant to be like 11 inches tall, 11, 12 inches tall. Really good looking models. I love the range of weaponry you can put onto them. And you know, it's Eldari Gundam. That's just cool looking. And I think these guys are really imposing. And having these guys on the battlefield, such a menacing threat to send at your opponent. Another similar deal. I think these guys look really cool. I love the weapons they've got. I love the range of weapons this guy has as well. These guys are taller than the previous ones. But I just love these heads. I think that's why I love these guys. I love the way their heads look. They're just really cool looking models to me. Another Farseer. What can you say? It's just a glorious looking model. And what I like with these Aeldari sculpts is they really epitomise the extremely detailed but not in a way that detracts sensibility. And that's just really important. It makes for a really good looking model. Also, the Eldari logo looks a lot like Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls to me. And so there's a certain appeal with that. The vehicles are cool, filled with brilliant curves. I love the kind of I love the aesthetic of them. They look really classic sci-fi in my view, and it just works really well for the setting. Okay, warp spiders. I'm hoping against hope that between my having recorded this video and this video going up, they'll have announced a new warp spider sculpt. Normally, I'm in the view which is, I think is a minority view of please don't refresh my faction. I've just bought a load of models. I don't want to replace them so quickly. I can think that up to a point, and that point is warp spiders. These are old sculpts that convey a lot of personality. I love these weapons. I think they're brilliantly designed. They are just, older than me, and I think they deserve some more love. They deserve to look as good as the other models in the range. And if they do that with a kill team or do that with a range reflex for the next Codex Eldari, I'm fine either way. But they do deserve to look better than they do, because look at this kind of pincer this guy has for a backpack. It's brilliant. These weapons are ridiculous and beautiful. They deserve love, and I love them. Classic weapons platform. I think it looks cool. Again, this color scheme, this white and green with the highlights. Brilliant color scheme. Just think these guys look really cool. Okay, the Avatar of Cain. This guy deserves to be a lot more powerful in the lore than he ends up being. He's the avatar of the Eldari god of war. That should be a powerhouse. He is unfortunately often used as the, hey, this guy's powerful, and the fact that our protagonist just beaten him shows how great our protagonist is. He deserves a win. Look at this guy. He's a lava monster wielding a sword with a hand that's dripping blood. He's got fire everywhere. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant model who deserves more respect from the writers. I really hope that we get, at some point, an Aeldari book. And in that Aeldari book, as things look dire, they summon the Avatar of Cain, who Deus Ex Machinas everything, because he's so ridiculously powerful. That's what we need. That's what the Aeldari deserve. They deserve their Avatar of Cain to be a god, because he is a god. And I think this is a beautiful looking sculpt. I'm glad they made him they made him a lot bigger than he used to be, which he did deserve. I think that shows him being more powerful as he should be. So the Ynnari and the Harlequins got wrapped up into Codex Eldari during 9th edition and the 10th edition index cards. So I'll talk about them here. I love Yvraine. I love the Ynnari. I mostly love the Ynnari because of Yvraine. And I mostly love Yvraine because she's got a cat, and that cat it does not have its own independent stat line. I'm a cat. I own 2 cats. I love them, so I love this cat. That's kind of as simple as it gets. The Ynnari from the lore, they're kind of uniting all of the Aeldari factions. They've got all those together. I've got a full video about just the Ynnari. There'll be a playlist at the end of the video, and it's going to be in that playlist. And one of my cats features in that video pretty prominently, so give it a watch, show the cat some love. But yeah, really like Ynnari as a model. I really love Yvraine as a model. Really love the Ynnari, and they belong. Yeah, and given they've been put in with the Eldari as a faction, Yvraine belongs here. Harlequins are one of my go-to armies. Love these guys to pieces. I love the space. I love my elf space clowns. I think they're really unique. I enjoy the fact that they are kind of the Eldari custodies in terms of how elite they are. And I keep meaning to get a handwriting pen like you use at school and writing on the bases of mine. I got a relative of mine who can translate stuff back and forth from Latin to translate the phrase "God gives his silliest battles to his funniest clowns," and I want that on the basis of my Harlequins. I just never got around to doing it, but I think Harlequins are phenomenal, and if they're going to be part of Codex Eldari, then they're going to be in the video about why I love the Aeldari. Okay, final one, the Webway Gate. The Webway Gate seems to be for like everything under the race Aeldari, from the Eldar themselves to the Ynnari to the Harlequins to the Drukhari. It's just there. This thing is a tall model. It's like 13 inches tall. wider than you'd expect. Those Wraith Knights can fit through them, and it's fun to paint up. It's just fun having this giant sculpture to paint up, and I just think, yeah, it's a fun looking model, and it's and that versatility to it is really part of why I love it as part of the Aeldari army. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. To summarise, I love the Aeldari for their placement in the lore, what they do, what they look like, and the range of models and how specialised they are. If you want to drop a comment down below, that would be really great. If you, I'm going to ask the question for the comment question of the day. What do you think of the Aeldari? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you wish they were more generous? Do you think that they've been usurped? Do you think they deserve more models? Do you think they need bit of a trimming down? Do you like their lore? What do you think of the Aeldari? If you want to comment with your answer to that below or anything else, it would be hugely appreciated. If you want to drop this video a like, I'd appreciate that as well. If you want to subscribe for more just positivity about this hobby in your feed, that would be brilliant as well. And if you want to share this around with some friends, it'd be great as well. I've got a link to my Patreon in the description. If you wanted to drop a couple of quid my way, I'd really appreciate that. We've got Patreon rewards and stuff like that as well. So yeah, that'd be really appreciated. And yeah, with that said, I'm hoping you're having a really good day, and I'll see you next time.